What's up guys, welcome to my channel. In this video today, I will be sharing with you how you can apply for your US visa from within Canada. To achieve this, you want to go to the ceac.state.gov website. The link will be in the description of this video. Once you're there, from the drop down list, select a location where you're applying from, scroll down and select your city. Then enter this code shown on the screen. If you have a passport size photo on your laptop or mobile phone, then you can upload it here. However, this is not required, and at the end of the application, you can add it as well. So you're going to select start an application. You want to keep track of your application ID, as this is very important to retrieve your application later on in the event that you got kicked out or you are not able to complete it on time. So I'm going to save this here. Then here you're going to select I agree, then scroll down and select your security question, and you have a bunch of them to choose from. I'm going to say Mary, then select continue. Here you're going to specify your surname, your given name which is your first name or as shown in your passport, your full name in native alphabet. Have you ever used any other names, right? I'm going to select no. Do you have a telecode that represents your name? I'm going to say no. Select your sex. I'm going to select male. Select your marital status. Select what best applies to you. Select your date of birth. I'm going to say the 1st of January 1990. Select your city, your state, and then your country. So I'm going to say Toronto, state Ontario, and country Canada. Scroll down and select next. Here you're going to select your nationality. So I'm going to select Canada from the drop down. Have you held any other nationality? I'm going to say no. Select what best applies to you. Are you a permanent resident of another country? I'm going to say no. Do you have a national identification number? You can specify it here. I'm going to say 123, right? Do you have a social security number? You can say it does not apply, as well as the same thing for the taxpayer ID. Then you select next. Here is where you're going to select your visa type. So if you're doing a visitor's visa, then you're going to select temporary, business, pleasure, visitor B, right? And then you're going to be asked to specify the type. Now the most common one is business and tourism. Have you made travel plans yet? So even though we are going to select no, it's going to still ask intended date of arrival. So I'm going to say the 1st January 2024. How long do you plan to stay in the United States? I'm going to say a month. Where do you plan to stay in the US? Here, if you don't have a family member's address, then you can always use like the address of an hotel. So I'm just gonna fill it with some random information. Now for the person or entity paying for your trip, you can select whatever best applies. I'm going to select self and then select next. Are there any persons traveling with you? No. Then select next. Have you ever been to the US? Select what best applies. Have you ever been issued a US visa? Select what best applies. Have you ever been refused a US visa? Select what best applies. Has anyone ever filed an immigrant petition on your behalf with the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services? I'm going to say no. Once you've specified your address, then it's going to ask you for your mailing address. If your mailing address is the same, then you select yes. If no, then you select no. So I'm going to say yes and then scroll down. Here you're going to specify your email address. Now this email address is important, right? Because at the end of this application, you'll need this email address to receive your confirmation sheet. Have you ever used any email address in the last 5 years? Select what best applies to you. Let's scroll down. Social media platform. Let's scroll down. I'm going to say Facebook, right? Then it's going to ask you for your media identifier. So I'm just going to say Garcia, right? Do you wish to provide information about your presence on any other website or application you have used in the last 5 years to create or share content? I'm going to say no. Then select next. Here you're going to select your travel document type. I'm going to say regular for passport, and then you're going to specify your passport number, right? For the passport book number, it's not required, so you can say it does not apply, or you can just research it and see what it is and then add it there. You're going to select the country that issued your passport. So let's say you're not from Canada, then you can say Barbados, right? The city, I'm just going to say Barbados. And for the state, I'm just going to say Kingston, right? And then from the drop down, you're going to select your country where it was issued. Scroll down, and then for the issue date, select the date the passport was issued. I'm going to say January 2020. Expiry date, the 1st January 2030. Now please keep in mind all of this is demo info, right? Have you ever lost or had a passport stolen? I'm going to select no. Then select next. Now here you're going to specify your contact person in the United States. If you don't have any contact person and you plan to go like an hotel, then you can select do not apply for the contact person and specify the organization name, right? So I'm just going to say Hotel Hilton, right? And then for relationship to you, you can select other. Then it's going to ask you for the information. So once you fill out the information, you can then select next to family. And this section, it's asking you to provide your family information. So your father's full name and date of birth. So I'm just going to put in some random information. If you do not know, it's okay to select do not know, right? So for example, for the mother, name and date of birth, I'm going to say do not know, right? And I'm going to say do not know here as well. Is your mother in the United States? We're going to say no because we don't know. But if yes, then you select yes. Do you have any immediate relatives, not including parents, in the United States? Select what best applies to you. Then select next. On this section, you're going to provide information about your education, training, or work, right? So from the primary occupation, select whatever best applies to you. Here you're going to fill out the name of your employer or school, right? So I'm going to say Johnny's Pizza. And I'm just going to fill in some random data here. Select when you started the work. So I'm going to say the 1st of January 2016. Monthly income in local currency if employed, right? You can say 5,000, that would be monthly. Now describe your duties and then select next. Are you previously employed? Select what best applies to you. I'm going to say no. Have you attended any educational institution at secondary level or above? I'm going to say no. However, please select the right answers, right? I'm just taking you through the application process. Then select next. Do you belong to a tribe or clan? No. Here you're going to specify the language that you will speak. You can always add another or remove. Have you traveled to any countries within the last 5 years? You can say yes. Then select your country. Let's say it's Canada because you're applying from Canada, right? Have you belonged to, contributed to, or worked for any professional, social, or charitable organization? I'm going to say no. Do you have any specialized skills or training? I'm going to say no. Have you ever served in the military? No. Have you ever served in, been a member of, or been involved with parliamentary unit, vigilante unit, rebel group, guerrilla group? Select what best applies to you, right? I'm going to select next to the background section. Now for the security and background section, it consists of 5 parts. What it is going to do is that it's going to ask you a series of questions. Right, take your time, read them carefully, but in most cases, if you have never had any run-ins with the law, then there's a higher probability all of your answers will be no. So I'm going to take my time now and select no for these questions, right? I'm going to select next here. So all of these would be no. However, take your time, read all of them, and make sure you are selecting the correct answers. So I'm going to select no here and then select next. And for these 3 as well, I'm going to select no. Now here, you'll need to upload your passport photo. Now starting the 1st of November 2016, eyeglasses will no longer be allowed in new visa photos. So if you wear glasses, you'll need to remove your glasses, right? So once your passport size picture is on your phone or laptop, then you can select choose. Now this may not work because it's a photo I took from Google, right? Oh, it actually worked. So this is what it will look like. Then select next to continue using this photo. Then you're going to select next to review. Now on this page, it will allow you to review all of your information. If you need to change anything, then you select the edit button right here, right? So we are going to select next and it will take you through each of the section. I'm going to select next again, next for background and security. So make sure you take your time, double check, read over everything and ensure the information is accurate. So where will you be submitting your application? And ensure you select the closest city to you, right? So I'm going to select submit and sign. Did anyone assist you with filling out this application? No. Enter your passport number and enter the code shown on the screen to sign your application. You have successfully signed and submitted your application. You cannot make any changes to your application at this point. Please click next to complete the application process, right? So this is your confirmation sheet. You want to save this sheet. You can email it to yourself as well as you can print it. When you select print, it allows you to save it as PDF and you can save it on your laptop, right? And then you can always print it at a later date. So the information used in this video is strictly for demonstration purposes. So even though I say country region Barbados, place of birth Toronto, the process to apply for your US visa is same. It doesn't matter the country you are from, right? So the next step is to pay for and schedule your visa appointment. I'll leave a link to a video showing you how you can do that, and I'll leave a card at the end of this video as well. Now the example was done for Jamaica, however the same will be applicable for Canada. The only difference is that you may be using a different embassy. So that's it for now guys. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.